Botswana, an executive adventure into wildest Africa, from the 24th of April to the 1st of May 1998. We left early, 4 vehicles idling in the cool morning air on Friday the 24th of April 1998, bound for Botswana via Martin's Drift. There was a quiet excitement among us. Roland, Hubertus, Carlo, Max, Günther, Hans Christian, and myself. Men, for the next 10 days, would exchange offices and routines for dust, tents, and the raw unpredictability of Africa. By the time we reached Francistown and pushed on towards Nata, the sun had fully claimed the sky. At Nata Lodge, civilization briefly reclaimed us. A sumptuous dinner, comfortable chalets, laughter over cold drinks. Luxuries that felt almost indulgent, knowing what lay ahead. We were ready, we told ourselves, for our executive adventure. We left early the next morning and after 900 long kilometers, finally stumbled upon a filling station. If you wanted petrol, you didn't just pay for it, you worked for it. The pump needed muscle and a good sense of humor. Leaded or unleaded, we asked. What's the difference, came the reply, delivered with the confidence of a man who had absolutely no idea. So we filled up, hoped for the best, and carried on, powered by petrol, optimism, and a touch of ignorance. The salt pans humbled us almost immediately. Endless white horizons shimmered under the sun, silence broken only by tires crunching over ancient earth. And seeing Bain's baobabs in the distance proved to be exciting and rewarding. It felt like discovering a secret guarded by time itself. These giants stood immovable and wise, witnesses to centuries of travelers, far tougher than we would ever claim to be. We lingered there over brunch, small men beneath monumental trees, aware, perhaps subconsciously, that moments like this would stay with us forever. Kai Pan brought night sounds we could not name, but could never forget. At South Camp, darkness arrived suddenly and completely, alive with movement just beyond the reach of the firelight. Africa does not sleep, it watches. The road into Moremi was long, sandy, dusty, and unforgiving. From Mount to Southgate, we drove through Mopane forests and open grasslands, arriving at camp by mid-afternoon, tired but satisfied. Here the wilderness began to feel personal. The Moremi Reserve is teeming with wildlife, exotic plants, and trees. And Roland's RAV4 could be mistaken for a zebra in the camp, and his inflatable tent became both a joke and a necessity. Comfort was redefined daily. The next day, a lone elephant bull challenged us. We were the intruders. But we continued unabated. Third Bridge was something else entirely, possibly the wildest campsite in Moremi. It sheltered us beneath massive trees while testing every assumption we had about control and safety. It was here that Africa reminded us repeatedly that we were guests, but the campsite under the shady trees was an Africa of old. We never had a truly safe moment. One afternoon, a herd of trumpeting elephants came thundering straight through the camp, missing Roland by what he still insists was comfortable margin. Survival, we discovered, often depended on instinct, luck, and the simple rule of the bush. Well, when you have to go, you have to go. Another day, a lone bull elephant calmly blocked Max's exit from the abolition facilities, proving that even the most basic human routines were subject to negotiation. Wild dogs chased an impala straight through the camp, speed and precision unfolding just meters from where we stood, frozen in disbelief. And then there were the baboons, clever, aggressive, relentless. These wild marauders seized every opportunity to be a nuisance, stealing whatever wasn't nailed down and, from the safety of the treetops, expressing their contempt for man and machine in the most biological ways imaginable. Perched above us, they took what they wanted, respected nothing, and left behind unmistakable reminders of who truly ruled this land. We adapted quickly, or at least we learned to laugh. Our four-wheel drive skills were challenged when we drove through the sand and dust of the Madikwe sand ridge, not to mention a leaking radiator, getting stuck solidly in the treacherous sand, attending to punctures, and more punctures. And when we finally left Moremi, the attempt to find Kubu Island ended in frustration and fading light. We pushed on instead to the Soba Pan and the Nata Bird Sanctuary. The reward was immediate. A beautiful, well-kept campsite. Ease of endurance, some relaxed, others worked. Africa allows both, but never at the same pace. And driving onto the Soba Salt Pan demanded absolute respect. The surface shifted under the tires like loose silk, and the edges felt treacherous, as if the line between motion and calamity had been drawn by a trembling hand. And then flamingos. Not dozens, not hundreds, thousands. An endless shimmering tide of pink and white stretching to the horizon, lifting and settling in slow, breathtaking waves, as if the whole pan was breathing. It was the kind of sight that takes your breath away. Yet this journey was never only about adventure. It had a purpose. For 10 days we endured heat, insects, rough food, and restless nights, not to prove toughness, but commitment. We showed that executives could survive in darkest Africa and, more importantly, contribute something meaningful in the way. On the 7th of June, that purpose found its conclusion when 40,000 rand, which we had collected, was handed over to the chairman of the SOS Children's Village for the Children of Africa. Looking back now, the photographs capture vehicles, camps, animals, and landscapes. What they don't fully show is how Africa changes you quietly, without ceremony. It teaches humility, patience, and perspective. And once it does, it never quite lets you go.